Open page 118, girls, in your literature book. Start reading Nirvana.
Should we read the objective, صح?
From the beginning, from the first beginning.
Okay. First read, making
No, from an
inferences.
author.
In the 19... Okay. An author ought to write for the youth of his generation, the critics of the next, and the schoolmasters of ever afterward. F. Scott Fitzgerald. First read, making inferences. In the 1920s, F. Scott Fitzgerald gave his readers a glimpse into the gilded lives of the jazz age. Originally, his characters Gatsby and Daisy lived the extravagant lives of the uber-rich, but internally they were falling apart.
Yes, of the average, the highest class in the society, and then they were falling apart.
As you read, pay attention to the event, to the setting, and most importantly to the character of Daisy. Underline portions of the text that describe the characters Tom and Daisy. Write questions you have about the characters in my thoughts column. Okay, from The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. In this scene from Chapter 1, the narrator Nick Carraway attends a dinner party at the home of his cousin Daisy Buchanan and her husband Tom. Daisy's friend Jordan Baker is also in attendance. As the excerpt opens, Daisy gossips with Nick.
As we said in the movie, that Nick went to visit Daisy, and then he saw her husband and a friend of Daisy. Okay?
Teacher?
Yes?
What page are you reading?
118.
Okay, thank you.
Can I read?
After Nirvana, yes. Continue Nirvana.
Okay. I'll tell you a family secret, she whispered enthusiastically. It's about the butler's nose. Do you want to hear about the butler's nose? That's why I came over tonight.
Yes, well, this is Nick. So girls, we will make Tom, Nick, Daisy like this. Okay, so Ahad, you will be Nick. Okay, Nick is the narrator. Okay. Okay, Nirvana, I think you have to start dividing.
Okay.
Girls, are you awake or not?
Also.
Oh, okay, Lean.
Huda.
Huda, okay, Huda, you will be Tom, husband of Rosie. Are you here, girls? Are you awake?
Teacher, how am I supposed to know who is next?
From understanding. Lujane, you'll be Rosie. Okay, so Rosie will say the conversation. I'll tell you a family secret. It's Rosie is talking. Lujane?
Okay, Miss.
Rosie, Ria?
Miss, did you choose the narrator?
Yeah, listen, girls. We have Nick. Nick is the narrator, and he is also part of the dialogue. You understand me? Okay.
I'll tell you a family secret. Is someone supposed to read this?
Yes, where is Nick?
It's about the Balter's nose. Do you want to hear about the Balter's?
No. Balter nose is Daisy also. Between quotation is a person of the three of you. Narrator is what is not between quotation, like she whispered enthusiastic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Enthusiastically.
Yes, repeat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a family secret.
She whispered enthusiastically.
It's about the butler's nose. Do you want to hear about the butler's nose?
You are also Nick. The narrator is also Nick.
That's why.
Yes, that's why I came over tonight. And I came to hear about the butler's nose.
Well,
this conversation happened when they were sitting at the table at the dinner time.
Well, he wasn't always a butler. He used to be the silver polisher for some people in New York that had a silver service for 200 people. He had to polish it from morning till night until finally it began to affect his nose.
Imagine it was his job to polish the silver set that people eat with it and use it as to eat and drink. And this for 200 people, they had for 200 people in case they make a party at any time. Okay, so he used to clean those 200 pieces of silver daily.
Oh, that's okay.
Then we have Miss Baker. Miss Baker is the friend of hers. The friend of hers will be Judy. Judy, things went from bad to worse. Yes, Judy.
Okay. Miss, you already read it. Bس-
Hmm?
okay. Things went from bad to worse.
Suggested Miss Baker.
Yes, things went from bad to worse until finally he had to give up his position.
For a moment the last sunshine fell with the romantic affection upon her glowing face. Her voice compelled me forward breathlessly and I listened. Then the glow faded, each light deserting her with lingering regret, like children leaving a pleasant street at dusk. The butler came back and murmured something close to Tom's ear, whereupon Tom frowned, pushed back his chair, and without a word went inside. As if his absence quickened something within her, Daisy leaned forward again, her voice glowing and singing.
I love to see you at my table, Nick. You remind me of a rose, an absolute rose, doesn't he?
She turned to Miss Baker for confirmation.
And Miss Baker.
Miss Baker is the friend.
Yeah, Judy.
But
An
she
absolute
Daisy, yeah,
rose.
okay, yes, an absolute rose.
This was untrue. I am not even faintly like a rose. She was only extemporizing, but a stirring warmth flowed from her, as if her heart was trying to come out to you concealed in one of those breathless, thrilling words. Then suddenly she threw her napkin on the table and excused herself and went into the house. Miss Baker and I changed a short glance conscientiously devoid of the meaning. I was about to speak when she sat up elderly and said, "Shh," in a warning voice. A subdued, impassioned murmur was audible in the room beyond, and Miss Baker leaned forward, unashamed, trying to hear. The murmur trembled on the verge of coherence, sank down, mounted excitedly, and then ceased altogether. "This Miss Gatsby you spoke of is my neighbor," I said.
Judy, Judy,
Yeah.
your turn.
Don't talk. I want to hear what happens.
"Is something happening?" I inquired innocently.
You mean to say you don't know?
Honestly, said Miss Baker, honestly surprised. I thought everybody knew.
You
I
say this, yeah, Judy. I thought everybody knew.
Why? She said hesitantly. Tom's got some women in New York.
got some woman, I repeated blankly. Miss Baker nodded.
She might have the decency to not telephone him at dinner time, don't you think?
Almost before I had grasped her meaning, there was the flutter of a dress and the crunch of leather boots, and Tom and Daisy were back at the table.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Ahad. Okay. Dima, you will be Nick, the narrator, and in the conversation. Thank you, Ahad. And Judy the same, Huda the same, and Lujain Rosie.
بس هو يعني who was talking together?
Now
Miss
it was as you
Baker?
watch in the movie, Mr. The girl, the friend of Daisy, and Nick.
Ah,
When he got we will watch the movie again after we finish this part.
Do I read?
It couldn't
Yes,
be. I'm Daisy now.
yes, you're Daisy. Yes,
Okay. It couldn't be helped.
Dima,
Cried Daisy with tense gait- gaiety.
Gaity.
gaiety. She sat down, glanced searchingly at Miss Baker, and then at me, and continued.
I
I
looked out. I looked outdoors for a minute, and it's very romantic outdoors. There's a bird on the lawn that I think must be a nightingale, come over on the Cunard or White Star Line. He's singing away. Her voice sang. It's romantic, isn't it, Tom?
very romantic.
he said, and then miserably to me,
If it's light enough after dinner, I want to take you down to the stables.
The telephone rang inside, startlingly, and as Daisy shook her head decisively at Tom, the subjects of the stables, in fact all subjects, vanished into air among the broken fragments of the last 5 minutes at table one. Remember the candles being lit again, pointlessly, and I was conscious of wanting to look squarely at everyone, and yet to avoid all eyes. I couldn't guess what Daisy and Tom were thinking, but I doubt if even Miss Baker, who seemed to have mastered a certain hardy skepticism, was able to utterly to put this guest's shrill metallic urgency out of mind.
What is the fifth guest?
Gatsby?
No, the fifth guest. Metallic fifth guest. They didn't have decency to not calling through dinner. That
The woman.
insisted.
The
The
woman.
woman on the phone. The fifth guest was the phone. Yeah.
To a certain temperament, the situation might have intriguing. My own instinct was to telephone immediately for the police. The horses, needless to say, were not mentioned again. Tom and Miss Baker, with several feet of twilight between them, strolled back into the library as if to a vigil beside a perfectly tangible body, while trying to look pleasantly interested and a little deaf. I followed Daisy around a chain of connecting ver- verna- verandas
Verandas. Veranda is like a balcony.
to the porch in front. In its deep gloom we sat down side by side on a wicker settee. Daisy took her face in her hand as if feeling its lovely shape, and her eyes moved gradually out into the velvet dusk. I saw that turbulent emotions possessed her, so I asked what I thought would be some sedative questions about her little girl. "We don't know each other very well, Nick," she said suddenly.
So this
Oh
is
no, no,
Rosie.
okay.
Yes, Rosie.
We don't know each other very well, Nick, she said suddenly.
Suddenly.
Even if we are cousins, you didn't come to my wedding.
Nick.
I wasn't back from the war.
That's true, she hesitated. Well, I've had a very bad time, Nick, and I'm pretty cynical about everything.
Evidently she had reason to be. I waited, but she didn't say any more, and after a moment I returned rather feebly to the
Feebly.
subject of their daughter.
I suppose she talks and eats and
No, this is Nick.
Oh, okay.
I suppose she talks and eats and everything.
Oh, yes.
She looked at me absently.
Listen, Nick, let me tell you what I said when she was born. Would you like to hear?
Very much.
It'll show you how I've gotten to feel about things. Well, she was less than an hour old, and Tom was God knows where. I woke up out of the ether with an utterly abandoned feeling, and asked the nurse right away if it was a boy or a girl. She told me it was a girl, and so I turned my head away and wept. All right, I said, I'm glad it's a girl, and I hope she'll be a fool. That's the best thing a girl can be in this world, a beautiful little fool. You see, I think everything's terrible anyhow, she went on in a convinced way. Everybody thinks so, the most advanced people, and I know I've been everywhere and seen everything and done everything. Her, her eyes flashed around her in a defiant way, rather like Tom's, and she laughed with thrilling scorn. Sophisticated.
God,
God, I'm sophisticated.
unsophisticated. Yes. Nick.
The instant her voice broke off, ceasing to compel my attention, my belief, I felt the basic insincerity of what she had said. It made me uneasy, as though the whole evening had been a trick of some sort, to exact a contributory emotion from me. I waited, and sure enough, in a moment she looked at me with an absolute smirk on her lovely face, as if she had asserted her membership in a rather distinguished secret society to which she and Tom belonged.
Okay, girls. You see the video that we've just seen now? This is what we read. Okay?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Here, I will.
Miss, why is it very sexist?
Why?
Why is it very sexist?
What is very exhausting? I don't know. Why
When she
then?
was reading, she said that all a girl can be is just foolish
Ah, a fool? Yeah.
and beautiful.
Yes, we will discuss it. But for
Teacher, I have a question. Tom is whose husband?
Tom is Rosie's husband.
No,
Oh,
Daisy.
Again, here's 3 minutes.
No creativity.
No voice, right?
Yeah, there's no
There
voice.
was, then it went.
So this Mr.
Yeah,
Gatsby's
now I've got
he's my
there's
neighbor.
voice.
Don't talk. I want to hear what happened.
Something happening?
Why, I thought everybody knew.
I don't.
Tom's got some woman in New York.
Got some woman.
She might have
Who
a
is the
decent...
fifth guest, girls? Who's the
The
fifth
girl
girl?
on the
Woman?
phone.
The girl on the phone. Yes, a woman. He has an affair. He got a woman in New York.
teacher, and her wife knows?
Her wife knows, yes. That's why she says that it's better for her daughter to be fool, so she doesn't realize what happens around her. She wants to say that the girl should be pretty and fool. Why? Because men fool women. So when she is a fool, she will not understand what happens around her.
See, not to telephone at dinner time. Don't you think?
Oh.
I love seeing you at my table, Nikki. You remind me of a rose. An absolute rose, doesn't it?
So after
Well,
dinner,
I'm not even.
You remind me of a rose, but of course the CC has mistakes, okay? An absolute rose.
Faintly like
Nick
a rose.
wanted to go on to town, right, Nick? To the Yale Club.
Nikki, stay.
I have to work early.
Nonsense.
There's so much to talk about.
It's just for a drink or two.
None of us could ignore that fifth guest's shrill metallic urgency.
Fifth guest, not gasp. Fifth guest, shrill metallic urgency.
Nikki,
What?
it's just... Well, you see, I think everything's terrible.
See how many
in here.
butlers are in the house, girls? See?
Really?
See?
Yes. I've been everywhere
Yep.
and seen everything. And
Just to
done everything.
serve
I've had a...
two, a man and a woman, and a girl. How many
Teacher,
butlers?
the one with the black hair is who, and the one with the blonde hair is who?
This is Rosie.
Okay, and the other one is Daisy,
Her
right?
friend. This is. I'm sorry, not Rosie. Daisy. This is Daisy. The other woman is her friend. This is
Yeah.
Rosie, the heroine of the movie.
A very bad time, Nikki. I'm pretty cynical about everything.
Your daughter, I suppose she talks and eats and everything.
Pammy. Oh, yes. Listen, Nick. When she was born, Tom was God knows where. With God knows who. And I asked the nurse if it was a boy or a girl. And she said it was a girl. And I wept. I'm glad it's a girl. And I hope she'll be a fool. That's the best thing a girl in this world can be. A beautiful little fool.
A beautiful little fool. Fool, not fool. Okay, girls, you got it?
But maybe she said that because she's heartbroken.
Yes,
Because
because
her
she faces.
husband broke
Yes.
her heart and cheated on her, so she doesn't want her girl and her daughter to encounter the same thing.
Yes. Yes. Here, girls, I wrote for you some meaning of words.
How would she not want her daughter to encounter the same thing if she says she wishes she becomes a fool? That
So she
means she
not.
wants her to know.
She wants her what?
She doesn't care, Yani.
No, she cares. She cares, but she knows
Maybe
that.
because either ways, if she is smart or a fool, men will be always men. So yeah, he can do anything.
Not to know. Mr. Gatsby earned his money. How did he earn his money? It is said that his grandfather was in the Civil War, but he didn't listen. At the time of Civil War, there were people who went to the Civil War and there were people who didn't want to go. At the time of the Civil War, the first one happened. There was a rich man, a very rich man, who paid another man to go to the war instead of him. He said to him, "Go to the war and say that that you are me, and I'll give you money." And then he did. That man who went to the war and took money from the rich man is the Great Gatsby's grandfather or uncle, the one that he inherited money from. And Gatsby was poor, was very poor, and he loved Daisy since he ever saw her, he ever seen her, but he didn't have money to marry her. So he loved her, he didn't have money to marry her. Then he inherited a wealth from his uncle. And he became so rich. But he lived on which side of the bay, as we said, the bay, the old money or the new money? Girls? The new rich. Because he was not originally rich, girls.
Yes.
Are you with me? Grade 11?
Yes, miss. Yeah.
Yes, so that's how he gained his money, how he spent his money on fancy
Miss,
parties, luxurious life. Yes,
Miss, but you said new rich is he makes his money, but he inherited it.
yes, and he got it. He just got it.
Yes, that's old money.
No, he no, because his grandfather is not rich. He gained money from
But
going to war.
his
He
family.
gained the money, or his uncle, not grandfather, his uncle.
Oh, okay.
So he just got the money in his hands now. So he bought a land in the new rich place, not the old one, money. Because they already, people who have old money are already settled there and living there on that side. You understand? So these are you see my PowerPoint, girls? These are some of the vocabulary, hard vocabulary. Are you here? Girls?
Yeah.
Okay, lingering, extemporizing, devoid, verge, seized, stop. Okay, gaiety, utterly, tangible, turbulent, and feeble. Okay, girls? So we go to page 123. So till here, are you following the story or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you following?
Yes.
Arwa, Harir, Serena. I didn't hear your voice today.
Yes.
Yes, wake up. On page, okay. Arwa, please read after we finish the excerpt. First response, key ideas and detail. Read the question, Arwa or Harir. Anyone? Sham Aqil. Sham, you're here. Talk, please. Read the question.
Yes. teacher ما معي كتاب أنا تحط الكوشن طيب.
Okay, sure. So Arwa, read the Arwa. Arwa.
I don't have the book, the same thing.
Why? Why Sham and Arwa, you don't have the book till now?
Miss Nada. I have it, but I'm not up now.
Can I go to the bathroom? Can I go to the bathroom?
Go. But we are just 10 minutes and we will go to our break.
teacher أنا لما أخذت
Lean.
الكتاب
Lean.
ملك.
Malak, read ya Malak, please, the question.
What are the first impressions of Daisy and Tom
Buchanan.
Buchanan? What are they like? What is their marriage like?
We have her husband Tom. Okay, up to your understanding, what do you think of Daisy? She seems like what? Which kind of person?
Sad.
Sad. What else, girls? Sad.
Weak.
Weak.
Sensitive.
Sensitive. Talkative. And above all, she is superficial. Superficial. She only cares about the outer understanding of any topic. Superficial from above. She looks to the topic from the surface. What about Tom? What do you think of Tom?
Careless man.
A cheater.
Excellent. A careless man. A cheater. Yes. Uncaring husband.
He isn't a decent man.
Yes, he's not a
He
decent
should
man.
be in خلاص بس عصبني.
A cheater. He's a cheater, uncaring husband and a father.
But she must leave him. خلاص تروح she must يعني تصير independent woman ويلا.
At that time we talked about it. We said that a woman should rely on a husband or a father. Yes.
When you called me, I didn't answer because my sister was crying.
Exactly. Okay, so what do you think of their marriages, girls, of their marriage? Is their marriage a successful marriage?
No.
No, it's complicated.
Why?
Because she married rich.
She said he's a cheater, or she doesn't know how to defend herself.
Yes, he's a cheater, and she awares of it. She knows that he is a cheater. Okay, so then focus. Malak, continue reading. Focus on making inferences.
On the surface, not much happened during this dinner party.
Fitzgerald
required his readers to infer much of what is happening. Good inferences are always based upon what the text says or shows
explicitly.
Sometimes,
explicitly. I'm sorry, because it's an adverb. Explicitly. Yes.
Sometimes, however, the writer leaves details uncertain. Fill in the following chart to make inference about the text and the character Daisy. Use evidence from the text to back up your ideas.
Yes, so he brought for you the first one. He says, Daisy seems to be silly and superficial because she gossips about such an insignificant thing. What was that insignificant thing when she said, do you want to hear about the butler's nose? So she is so shallow, superficial. Who is a kind of a person who would discuss or gossip about the butler's nose? You know what is a butler? Butler is a servant.
Oh my God, Miss, what the hell?
Yeah. So I want you to think of another sentence that give you any indication about Daisy's personality, girls, please. He brought for you an excerpt from the text, and then you decide. So I will read it, and then I want you to think, please. Daisy calls Nick an absolute rose. He is nothing like a rose, but he is nothing like a rose. And she calls him an absolute rose. So, what is the...
Complete.
So when you call someone you are a rose, and he is nothing related to a rose. So your personality is what? This personality is a what?
Is a good, kind personality.
Yes, she is a social person. What else, girls?
Yes.
Discuss.
Avoid something else.
What's something else?
About like Tom and the phone ringing.
What, girls? Lujane, are you talking or who is talking?
Like she's trying to avoid talking about Tom.
Yes, she avoids talking about Tom. Yes, I got it. I thought that you are asking us if we are talking about something else.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so she tries to avoid the conversation about Tom, but what else? It seems
she
like
doesn't like Nick. Like I felt like she likes him, and
likes Nick's her cousin. She likes him.
Yes, and she not love him, likes him, and
likes him. Yes.
Good when she talks to him.
Yes.
Like
so she is a social person. We can say that she is a social one. Okay, and she likes to keep the conversation going. Yes, she has a nice conversation with other people. Oh, you like a rose, you remind me of a rose. But I felt that she is faking it.
Teacher, that's what I was gonna say.
Yes, what were you going to say?
And it's like, it's not real, it's a lie.
Yes, it's she fakes it, as she
Yeah,
fakes her life. You know, this woman who creates an image for her life, but she's not living this life. A fake life. She lives a fake life, a lie. Okay,
يعني it's not a lie, بس she's trying
yes,
to
we cannot say it's a
find a
lie,
good
but it's
thing
fake.
in her life.
It's
Yeah.
insignificant.
Yes. So from when she said that Nick is an absolute rose, we can tell that she is fabricating it by calling Nick a rose. But in the same time, she is a significant social, and she likes to keep the conversation going. Okay? Third line, Tia. Where are you, Tia?
Yes, miss, I'm here.
Yes, Tia, read the third line.
You're going to post the answers.
Yes, I will post it in the. But
okay,
because I thought that we will not finish today the reading, but alhamdulillah we finished it. So I will. I didn't make it on the PowerPoint, but I will upload it for you. Tia, read the third line, lines 44. It is on page 124.
بس ندى
Yes.
ندى
Yes.
بس أنا مضطرة أروح المشفى هلا فممكن بعد
بتقول؟
إذنك تطلع. إيه.
Okay, حبيبتي. Get well soon, حبيبتي إن شاء الله.
Thank you so much.
Yes, bye. Okay, Tia.
Yeah. Third line in page 124.
Yes. Lines 44, 64.
Yeah.
Yes, I will go to the bathroom, okay?
Okay. Tom is having an affair.
Yeah,
Huh?
having an affair. How does Daisy react to the phone call?
Yes, how did she react to the phone call?
She was trying to pretend that she's okay.
Yes, she at the first, because the woman called twice. At the beginning, she tried to act that she's okay. Tia, what happened then?
First of all, she ignores it, and then she becomes upset by
at the beginning she ignored it, and then she did what?
She gets upset.
Yes, upset, and then she went to fight with him. She fought with him, right? When she left the dinner table, and she went to tell him, "Who are you talking with?" Okay, so Daisy at the beginning she tried to ignore it, and then she started to argue with Tom. The second time when the phone rang, what happened?
She makes herself. She acts as if it's okay.
Yes, excellent. She tried to feel that she tried to act that everything is okay, and pretend everything is fine. Okay, she speaks lessons and doesn't mention the topic. Yes. What can the reader infer about Daisy and Tom's marriage from this? What? When you hear that there is a man who talks to another woman, what, are you here or not? Sham Kharfan? Sham? Wad or Sham? Wad or Sham? Girls?
Miss, can I answer?
Okay, please, Linda.
The relationship is toxic.
Yes. Tom is cheating on her. Okay, and she knows that he has a woman, so their marriage is shaky and unstable. Yes. Then lines 104 to 110. Layal, Huda, Judy, Linda, anyone read? Aya Banjak, are you here, Aya? Aya? And Aya Hisham is not here. Serena, read ya, Serena, lines 104, 110.
Which page?
No, in 124, the same question.
Okay, wait, but I will enter because my sister is shouting. Miss again from which?
So girls, Lean, Serene, Aya, Sarah. Girls, Lean, Serene, Aya, Sarah are absent today because of the SAT or what?
Yes, because of the thought.
Oh, okay.
Miss Reed?
Yes.
Okay, from line 111, right? Oh, no, okay, خلاص, I know. Well, she was less than an hour old and
Serena,
Tom...
we are in page 124, 124. In a question, yes, Serena. We will have been answering the question.
Okay, Miss, you told me to 122.
124.
Okay. You want to read the analogy or the question?
Excerpts from text lines 104 and 110.
Miss, what are we reading? Well, I'm opening the book.
Dima, are you following?
Yes, Miss. 124, the chart, right?
Yes, the
From
chart.
David's confession.
Second one. Second column.
Why this is an inappropriate argument.
فروق يا سيرينا يا حبيبتي. ديما read يا دي.
From Daisy's confession, the reader can infer that.
Yes, from what Daisy says, the best thing a girl can be in this world is a beautiful little fool. From Daisy's confession, you can understand what? You can infer what? We can infer what? That Daisy is what of her life? Happy or unhappy?
And 24.
Unhappy.
42.
124, yes, Serena, I said it 3 times. 124, 124.
That's 42. I was opening 20.
The reader can infer that Daisy is unhappy with her life and she wishes she could be what and what?
A fool. She
A
wants
fool.
to be a fool.
Yes, and not have feelings. Why she doesn't want to have feelings?
To not get hurt.
Excellent, to not feel hurt. Okay? Because she has a broken heart, she wants to be a fool and not feeling hurt by her husband's cheating. We will stop here and continue last line in order to revise it again next period, girls. Okay? Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Miss, you called me, but it was lagging.
Bye, teacher. Bye.
It's okay. Go, girls.
Thank you.
Bye.